I don't want to be a home developer. I don't want to own a neighborhood or do single family homes. So we'll sell that off.
Mm.
And there's another assisted living component to it that we'll probably sell that off. And we're hoping that the money that we'll make from the appreciation and just, getting buying raw land and getting all that stuff done, you get all the hard work done, it adds a ton of value. So we'll turn around and then invest in the apartment community that we'll put there. So that's our ultimate goal, is to be the ones that own the apartment community.
Welcome to the How to Scale Commercial Real Estate Show. Whether you are an active or passive investor, we'll teach you how to scale your real estate investing business into something big.
Seth Teagle is a firefighter who transitioned to a vertically integrated multifamily company. They're developing land, taking down deals, and kicking butt and taking names. Seth, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Hey, man, the pleasure's mine. We got to talk really off air before we really started recording this. You guys are doing a lot of crazy things, and it's not crazy, but amazing things. And I'm absolutely loving what I was hearing. There's 3 questions I ask every guest who comes in the show in 90 seconds or less. Can you tell us, where did you start? Where are you now? And how did you get there?
I started with nothing, just a simple blue collar fireman, right? With a dream of being some big real estate investor. Where I'm at now, I own a company that has just holdings in just over 2,000 units. So we've got about 600 here in Central Ohio, and then we have got equity holdings in over 2,000. They're about 1,400 across the country. And then we vertically integrated last year. So we've got property management and construction that we are doing all in-house. And where do we see it going? I'm not really sure. I don't have a stopping point. I don't have like a unit count or a deal, that this is my last deal kind of thing. It's just stuff keeps coming towards us. And, we say no to a lot of things, but then, through the pile of no's, there's usually a yes or two in there. So that's what we look for.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I mean, it's not like you're classically trained in the building a business, vertically integrating it, and doing deals all over the country when you're a firefighter, right? I mean,
Right.
You guys are trained to put out fires. How did you educate yourself and really, build your team around you? What were some things that you did to scale, in a meaningful way?
So for me, it all started like 6 or 7 years ago. I was, like I said, living life. I've been in the fire service 21 years. I started when I was 18. I did college. During college, I was in the fire service. And somebody that I knew back then we'd kind of like gone separate ways. And he went into real estate and I went into the fire service. And so I had lost contact with him for about 10 years. And when I finally reconnected with him, he was investing, he was wholesaling, he was doing hard money lending, he was doing all this crazy stuff I'd never even heard about. But I was super interested. So he sent me an MP3 via email of a course that he did on house flipping, just to kind of like, hey, because he usually teaches these courses. And he was like, I'll just send it to you because I know you. Take a listen and see what you think. And so I just consumed that. I was hooked. I was like, this sounds awesome. But I had nowhere idea where to start.
Right.
So and then I didn't know anybody locally that was doing it, and so, I was just kind of like listening to podcasts. I had gotten, I had found out about Bigger Pockets. So back then I was listening to that. It was all single family for, 90% of the stuff that was on there. And I met a guy I met him, he was a contractor I met through a job I had hired him for, and he was actively flipping houses. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, man, I want to talk to this guy. So long story short, we became good friends. I offered to work for him for free for as long as it took me to feel comfortable. So I did project management and I did property management for him. He had a small portfolio, about 20 units or so, single family, some small multi, and then he was flipping houses as well. So I would do all of the project management for that. And it helped him out because he knew I would, I'm trustworthy and I knew it was what I was doing. And it was great for me because I could get all the hands-on experience I wanted to. Had access to him to ask questions and all that kind of stuff. And I had no capital at risk. So
Right.
That was the great part. And we did that for about a year. And through that process, I realized that multifamily was was kind of my lane. And I was trying to figure out, how do I scale? How do I grow business? How do I become financially independent while continuing to have a career? Because I still was super passionate about the fire service. I loved everything about it. I'd spent so much time and schooling and money, like kind of perfecting that craft. And so I was doing both I've been doing both for a long, long time. And I'd say, the the first deal I ever went into was a 50 unit. I bought that with one investor. We kind of pooled our money together. I took that down, spent a year there pretty much every day that I was at the firehouse, going over, materials, doing some of the work, managing contractors, just kind of like earning my stripes on that deal. And I just knew that if that deal could go right and go well, then I'd be set. Now I have a story, I have a resume. My wife would believe that this could be successful, all the important things. And so we bought that one. We did it for about 13, 14 months, refied, did very well on the refi, was able to pay back any investor that we had brought in, and then just went on to the next one. And then we went on to the next one. And it's just kind of grown to be this big thing. And as we've grown, we've brought on other people into the team to, work for us. So we employ about 15 people on the management side and about 7 or 8 guys on the construction side that solely focus on our unit turns and the renovations. And then, like I said, just networking and meeting other people that either want to get into Columbus or need a KP on a deal, or they want somebody with experience, or maybe they're running into the situation that I did, where I went through about 6 banks before I found one that would believe in me enough to do that first loan and give me an opportunity to really kind of get the thing off the ground. So, we that's kind of how we've gotten to partner with other people, is just kind of being out there and networking and having a proven track record.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely intriguing. I mean, and I love the just kind of natural progression for you. Were there bottlenecks along the way when you seem to get stuck in a rut and we're like, all right, how do I get out of this?
Yeah. So I mean, like my first deal, I went in undercapitalized. I didn't even, again, you don't know what you don't know. I had enough money to close the deal on about 50,000 less and or 50,000 more than that. And I thought I'll be set. And then when the first payment came in and I was about 14 tenants short of what I thought I was supposed to be at, it got real fast, and I called another guy that he was a firefighter up in Strongsville, Ohio, and he had gotten out of the fire service and was a full-time investor. And I called him, and he'd kind of been like a mentor from a distance, and we talked, and he kind of gave me some things that I could try to do or whatnot. The big thing that he said was like, man, you better get on it and find some private capital that will just do notes for you so you can raise some money. And I just went hardcore after it. Was able to raise a couple $100,000 doing that, and we were able to, like I said, the project was successful in the end. There's a lot of hurdles I jumped through on just that one, and then other bottlenecks. Again, anybody that has scaled, part of the you might want to be an investor, but being a business owner and being an employer all comes with its own things that you don't even think about. And so, just dealing with some of the HR things we have to worry about, some of the the background checks, just keeping employees happy, working conditions, material ordering, the logistics. I mean, what did we do last year? We did about 1.5 million in just materials for our renovations. And so trying to, I mean, it's a full-time job for somebody that we have here that just manages the logistics of getting the material ordered and getting it from point A to point B. So, all of those things were bottlenecks. And when we realized we were bottlenecking, we hired somebody, to take it over. So.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, when you run into a challenge, and especially once the business starts generating revenue where you can afford to bring people on, that sounds like a really neat or a smart way to scale, I should say. Let's talk about this land deal. I mean, so you guys are not just 50 units. It's a value add deal. Okay, you turned it in 14 months. Good job. I mean that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But breaking into development's a brand new set of skills. Talk to us about this project, and then tell us, how did you work up the courage to get into development? I mean, that's or even how did you get into development? Because that's a brand new set of skills beyond just a value add apartment complex.
Right. So I mean, again, it all goes back to networking. We met a group that we did a couple deals with here last year that wanted to get into the Columbus market. One of the guys on their team was he's done a ton of development and ground up construction. I had not or have not really done a ton of it. I know kind of like what I need to do and where we want to go and how to get there, but I don't, by no means have the experience to take down a huge deal. But again, it's all who's in the room, and so he's part of our team. There's 3 of us on the stream group. If you looked at our website at all, or anybody else does, there's 3 of us there, and he brings a level of knowledge and experience that we don't, we get, again, buy the apartment building, renovate it, do the value add, refi, like we've got that down. but we wanted to kind of, this opportunity came in front of us, and we were like, man, this is like, it's in my backyard. It's less than 10 minutes from my house. I know the area very well. I know the demographics, the economics. I know all of it very, very well. It's within 25 minutes, 20 minutes of Columbus, which is a phenomenal market right now in the Midwest. Tons of growth, huge housing shortage, tons of equity groups and other overseas investors that are coming into into Central Ohio, and they're just buying up the marketplace. And it's very hard for a local guy to compete with institutional buyers or these large equity groups, because they're just buying for reasons where I can't compete with that. So we are always looking and doing well in some of the tertiary markets, and this happened to be in kind of like a secondary tertiary market to Columbus. But one of the amazing things that has been publicly released in the last few weeks is that Intel's building. I think they're doing it's like a $20 billion complex that they're going to do this chip manufacturing plant, and the chip manufacturing plant will be between where I live and Columbus. And all the things that I know about the area, the land is pretty much locked up right now between Columbus and where I live out here in Granville, Ohio, which is about 20 minutes east of Columbus. The utilities cannot be ran there. The townships and the municipalities don't want to run the sewer lines, the electric. They don't want to run all the things that need to be there. So that land is just going to continue to sit there for the next 10 to 15 years. And so we've kind of like, where could we go to get a good deal on something that, if we got to skip all, obviously I'd love to buy in that area, right? That's right. That's kind of like everybody would, but this piece of land came up off market through a broker that I'm friends with. My kids go to school with his, so it's a great relationship. And he had been putting this thing together for like a year and came to me and said, hey, you guys, we had bought 3 or 4 deals from him over the last couple of years, believes in what we're doing. We're local. And it's a great opportunity for us to kind of get our development feet wet locally. Again, like we've got a partner that has done it, so we have the guidance there.
Right.
But he's not here in Ohio, and I doubt he'll ever even come look at it. But he's there. We have the experience, we have the qualifications to get it done. And like I said, I'll be working on that pretty much full time while we get things underway and get the zoning and entitlements done and all that. Then our plan will be to sell off parts of the land that we like. I don't want to be a home developer. I don't want to own a neighborhood or do single family homes. So we'll sell that off. And there's another assisted living component to it that we'll probably sell that off. And we're hoping that the money that we'll make from the appreciation and just, buying raw land and getting all that stuff done, you get all the hard work done, it adds a ton of value. So we'll turn around and then invest in the apartment community that we'll put there. So that's our ultimate goal, is to be the ones that own the apartment community.
That's intriguing. Yeah. So you guys don't want to do the ground up in the assisted living. You don't want to do the ground up in the single family homes. You want to build the apartment complex, sell off the rest of it once it's entitled, and then use that.
Yeah. That's the plan as it sits today. Right. Who knows what'll happen, between now and then. I've always liked assisted living, but again, I'm very I believe in staying in your lane, right? I know guys have been real estate investors, and they're like, I'm going to go open a restaurant, and then that implodes on them and they lose all kinds of money, or whatever. And I know apartments, I know multifamily, I know the market, I know that's my space and my lane. So, for us, I just don't know that I'd want to get into building single family homes and all that. And there's plenty of other developers around Columbus that would love it. So if we can sell the land to them and make a profit, then they can turn around and develop it, make a profit, everybody wins.
How do you model that out? Like how do you project what the future resale value of the home development side or the assisted living project? How do you value that into your model?
So right now we're doing everything on our own. So we have the capital that we're taking it down, just the 3 of us. And then, we're working closely with the broker that has the deal, plus, just again, our local knowledge of the market and what raw land, or I shouldn't say what raw land is selling for, but what is land selling? What are home parcels selling for once all the entitlements have been done and all the streets are done and all that work is done? What are they selling for right now? And as long as let's say we buy we're paying, I don't know, $14,000 a parcel, and then we put 20,000 in, we're all in for 34,000. We can turn around and sell it to a developer for 55,000, and then he might sell it to the general public for 75,000, or whatnot. But when there's 250 to 300 of those parcels, it gets to add up pretty quickly at $15,000 pops. So
right. Right.
That's kind of what we're doing. Like I said, it's obviously going to be pro forma out, but we're doing as much details as we can now, and looking at everything and kind of understanding, doing full economic research and making sure that everything checks up. But there's a few different subdivisions going in and around this area, so we're really just taking data from what they're doing and what they're selling for and all that kind of stuff, and kind of modeling those numbers into what we're looking at.
Right. No, that's absolutely intriguing. I love that. Yeah. Was there any, I mean, other than bringing on a partner like you guys have done to that has the industry expertise, is there any other advice you would give to somebody that's looking to get into development?
Into development, I would just say do your research. There's so many things that I'm comfortable with it because I know the area. I live, like I said, so close to it. But if I was buying something that was in an unknown market or an unknown area, there's just a ton of research and things you got to do really before anything goes hard. And for us on this, we have it in contract, but our runway is 120 plus days. So we've got a ton of time to do all of our due diligence, to do all of our research. It's really the way the contract was written, is if the zoning gets, if everything goes the way that we believe it will, and the way that the seller has, like the way that they've kind of got the ball rolling, and as long as it rolls the way that they say it will roll, we're going to be good. But if it doesn't, then we have contingencies within the contract where we can then back away.
Sure.
And I think we have half of our money that we put down going hard after like 6 months or 8 months. So like I said, in 6 months we'll know way more than we do today. And as long as everything continues, every box continues to get checked, then our money will go hard and we're going to be good to go.
That's intriguing. I love that. Thanks for taking the time to break that down. Seth, let's jump here into the final four questions. The first one is this: what is one tool or resource you find you can't live without?
Ooh, what is one tool or resource I can't leave? Probably my phone. I mean, I do all my scheduling through that. I do everything, but I mean, it used to be just kind of like a novelty, but now it's like I'm on the road so much or going to different, meetings and whatnot, that man, if I didn't have that thing, it would be, life would stop pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Second question is, if you could help our listeners avoid just one mistake in real estate, what would it be and how would you avoid it?
I kind of mentioned it earlier. I would definitely go in with somebody that like, and trust for your first deal. Or if you're changing asset classes, go in with somebody that has done it and has experience on your first deal to kind of cut your teeth, because there's so many landmines that are out there that you don't even know about. And I mean, like you said, if you can learn from somebody else's mistakes, why recreate them? So, like when I did my first apartment deal, I gave up 50% to somebody that did hardly anything. They set foot on the property like twice, but it got me into the next 5, 6, 7, 8 deals, So that's the thing is that's probably my big thing, is not to be so, I don't want to say small minded, but don't be like, so like think bigger. You know what I mean? Like, don't think of just that one deal you're thinking at today.
Right.
Think about what that one deal will unlock for you, next year or 2 years from now or whatever, and how that can snowball.
Right. I love that. I love that. When it comes to investing in the world, what's one thing you're doing right now to make the world a better place?
We are giving back through a homeless organization here in Newark. There's a lot. I mean, there's just always people in need, and so rather than I'm not a big fan of like giving somebody that's panhandling on the side of the street money. Right? There's tons of organizations that are out there that can verify what you're doing, and making sure that it's getting to the right people that need it. And so we try to help fund one here that's local for me, and help them with whenever they have needs. They let us know, and we kind of help guide that and work with them. So
that's fantastic. I love it. Seth, if our listeners want to get in touch with you or learn more about you and your company, what is the best way to do that?
They can look me up on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Just check out my name, Seth Teagle, or they can go through our website. It's the www.thestreamgroups. Groups is plural.com, and they can fill out our information request on there, and then that comes to my email, and then I'll usually follow up within a few days, and we can connect that way.
Sounds great. Thank you, Seth, for your time today. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good day. Thank you.